welcome back to the Hyperspacepodcast. My name is Sam, and this week I'm joined by a very special guest. Michael couldn't be here, but we've replaced him with the man, the myth, the legend. It's Mr. Ben Bortry. Ben, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Sam. It's an honour to be on the show. So I've recently arrived back in Southampton from my hometown in Kent. Had a lovely drive down and then just had a bit of spaghetti bolognese, which was lovely actually.
Wow.
And yeah, now just chilling at home.
Wow, I love that.
What about yourself? How are you doing?
Oh, it's too kind. Yeah, I'm doing very well. Sounds very exciting. Spaghetti bolognese. But we are here to talk about The Bad Batch, episode 8, titled
We are indeed.
Reunion. And it was quite an episode. I mean, it was fantastic. The show is definitely hotting up. Ben, give me your general thoughts. What did you think of the episode?
General thoughts. I think we can both agree best episode so far. So many talking points from that. I could not have expected it. Honestly, it was yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it had a bit of everything. And obviously the return of the main man himself, who we'll discuss later, I'm sure. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Solid episode.
Yeah, was a really great episode. Of course, we will discuss the man Ben is talking about later, but we'll start off at the beginning of the episode. We start on Camino. We haven't seen it for a few episodes. Crosshair is informing Rampart of the Bad Batch being alive on Braca, being informed by the Scrappers Guild. And first of all, it's clear to see that the Camino Prime Minister is losing the battle for control, because the Empire have clearly taken over, and yeah, they're almost getting desperate in this battle. I mean, it's very, I don't know how to describe it. Really. It's sad to see, because this is their home and they're kind of being taken over by the Empire.
Yeah, no. They've remained in the episodes and that for such a long time, so it's sad to see the Caminos. We could see maybe a potential battle. I don't know, but yeah, no, it was sad to see.
Yeah, no, completely. It was sad. We then go back to Braca, where we see Wrecker teaching Omega how to disarm a smoke bomb, and these two are great. I mean, their relationship is so good. Just bonding over it, they have a laugh. They get their space popcorn in previous episodes, and it's really great. However, I'm slightly worried, because every episode we have this Wrecker Omega bond, and I feel like they're doing this to maybe, I think Wrecker might end up dying, and it will really have a huge emotional impact due to the relationship with the Omega. I mean, Ben, tell me, could you bear to lose such a great character like Wrecker?
That's such a big call. If I had to think of anyone like that, to be fair, I hadn't really thought about Wrecker's what do they call it, like character arc and that, because I guess there's more focus on your Hunter and your Echo, who I'm sure we'll discuss as well. But yeah, it would be a massive loss. It would be a massive loss. But to be honest, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Obviously, we're only halfway through the season, so maybe towards the end. But yeah, not too worried about him going too soon.
Yeah, no, completely. I really hope that he stays around, but it was just something that popped into my head during the episode. Next, we get the bad Echo, Wrecker, and Omega getting in some trouble with the Scrappers. They easily dispatch of them, stunning all of them, and they go to loot the Venator-class cruiser for arms and information to sell, because they want to get almost one up on Sid, and they need the money. So they need this is a great opportunity for them to do to get some. And I thought throughout this episode, one of the things I'd like to say is one of the coolest things about it. It's so cool them going through the Venator class destroyer. They are going through all these different sections, and we almost get a tour of it, and
Mm,
it's so cool because
yeah.
we see them so much in the Clone Wars, and like seeing the real inside of it. I thought that was really cool.
No, definitely agree with that. Yeah, it really sort of took shape when I think it was in the armory where the
Mm,
that what happened? Yeah, they went into the yeah, they were just looking for things to find, and the obviously Wrecker found the
mm.
torpedo. What were they
The
called? The
proton torpedo.
proton torpedoes. That's it. But yeah, that was a fun part of the episode, I'd say.
Yeah,
Sort of gaining more insight into the cruiser, as you said. Yeah,
yeah. Nah,
really
it's
keen.
yeah, that was just a really cool bit. We also get bits of Echo. He it's quite
Mm,
clear that he misses being a soldier. He
definitely.
wanted to leave with Rex. He says many
Mm,
times, um, "What is our path? We're soldiers," and Hunt has to keep reminding him, "No, we're our path is with the child, aka Omega."
mm,
And I think it's quite clear to see that Echo misses Rex and misses being a soldier because that's
mm,
all he's known, and he's not one of the Bad Batch that has special abilities.
mm,
He's a reg that basically got experimented on, and he I don't know, it just gives him a bit more of a different perspective to the other Bad Batch, and it's clear to see that he misses Rex. Do you think that towards the end of the season we'll see Rex again?
yeah, I think that's a big point. To be fair, I think if we do see Rex again, it'll be with like interactions with Echo. Obviously, they go quite a way back
Mm.
from their past experiences in the Clone Wars, I believe. Um, and so, yeah, I sort of thought that when I saw that because you could see a little bit of tension arising between Hunter and Echo. Hunter's obviously quite he I don't know how to word it. It was quite like so he wanted to obviously survive by getting the weapons, being a weapons dealer or whatever. But as you said, Echo's mind was still quite in the uh, like trooper kind of mindset of yeah when he was fighting for the Republic. But yeah, I think maybe potentially later on we may see that tension rise and like Echo maybe reach out to Rex and then he become involved. Or I think another way we might see Rex is because I think Rex left and he said he was looking for more clones who were um, like defects who hadn't had their chips removed. So I think maybe they might find some more clones and then they contact the Bad Batch or works either or. And then they come together again. Yeah,
Yeah, potential for maybe Wolf and Gregor
yes, Gregor,
to come
yes.
into that. So yeah, that's an interesting point. The next thing that happened, we have them looting the ship. You know, getting there, as
Mm.
you said, there in the armory. Wrecker's enjoying play with his proton
He
torpedo,
loves it,
and
yeah.
yeah, he certainly does love it. And you have Omega called to the bridge and talking with Tech. And it's funny because Tech is so I don't really know how to describe it, but he just has mandates and he's so
Mm.
by the book that when
Mm.
Omega's like, "What's the war like?" Looking for these
Yeah,
stories, he's just like, just starts defining it, like
yeah,
saying,
yeah,
it was a bunch of missions to meet this specific aim," and
yeah, yeah.
it was quite a funny moment, and it just kind of reflects more of what Tech thinks. He's so smart, but he's wired differently
Mm.
to the other characters, and then we see the Empire land on Braca, and
Mm.
it starts to get really excited. The episode, but just after they land, it cuts back to Camino, and we finally get the answer that we're looking for a few
Yeah.
episodes. I gave this opinion a few episodes ago, and it was nice to be proven right about who hired Fennec Shand, and we finally got
Yeah.
the answer that it was the Kalmanoans. They want Omega for phase 3, and they talk about hiring other bounty hunters, and later in the episodes we find out who one of them is, that we'll discuss it a bit. But yeah, it was nice to have some closure about who hired Fennec Shand, and it'd be interesting to see if she reappears in the Clone Wars, because animating her for just one episode, I don't think they would. Like even Cad Bane, they had him animated for season 7. He was meant to have a show off with Boba Fett, and that's how he gets the dent in his helmet, because of a deleted scene from the Clone Wars, and we didn't get that. But awesome that we could have uh, the bounty hunter that we did get in this, which we'll talk about a bit later. But yeah, it's interesting. The Crosshair gets to Braca, and he just knows their every move. Like he
Oh
knows
yeah.
everything they do. They text like they're going to do this sweep. He knows they're going to get in they're going to listen to their transmissions, and they kind of bait
Mm.
them into the room with the cannons. I've forgotten what it's called.
It's the
And
artillery.
yeah, the artillery room. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And the they get in a really sticky situation because they are surrounded by clones.
Mm.
Crosshairs there, and Omega and Hunter are both trying to tell Crosshair it's the inhibitor chip. This isn't you. You
Yeah.
trying to snap him out of it, and some people say there's slight hesitation where part of him maybe has a think about it, but then that inhibitor chips kicks right back in, and
Yeah.
he's just basically like shoot the child, which
Yeah.
is kind of bullying a bit, but very, very harsh.
Mm.
But then there were questions over why Echo's in the Bad Batch, because they're like, it does everything Tech does. But
Yeah.
here we have them two thinking on their feet. And this is a really cool moment, them working together to fire the cannons to let them escape. This was a great idea, and it was I love seeing Bad Batch, like the characters work together. This was a great example of this.
Sorry, caught me off guard. No, yeah, definitely. I thought, yeah, no, it's good to see them working together as a team, I guess. Yeah, as you kind of know that they're going to talk to Crosshair to try and talk him out of it, but realistically, you know, it's not going to work. Kind of affirms, yeah, as you said, it's kind of, he's got that mindset of just quite savage, you know, kill the child.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool to see them working together as a team, like to get out of situations. I guess their bond is growing, especially with Omega, as you saw a bit later on with her skills and that developing with the bow at the end. That was toward the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely really cool to see them working together better as a team.
Yeah, we see Omega pop off a bit with the bow. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people thought she'd be one of these characters which is for the whole series just being defended by the Bad Batch. But
Yeah.
no, they're teaching her how to disarm bombs.
Yeah.
That she's using her bow. Like she was like picking clothes off in this
Yeah.
in the room after the cannon. I mean, she's definitely not a pacifist. You can say that for sure. And she's
Yeah.
definitely molded into a awesome character with a lot of
Mm.
questions over her head, which I'll asked later. But we then have them escape, and they try to get out through the engines. And again, Crosshair, he's clever. He predicts this, and he turns the engine on, which which could have made for like the most graphic
Yeah.
cartoon ever. And I was like, they had to get out of it, because otherwise they'd that would have been that would have been quite
Yeah.
ridiculous.
No.
They he contacts the bridge, they turn the engine on, and straight away it's quick thinking, and it's they're trying to think of plans. Wrecker mentions Plan 7, and
Mm.
I don't know. I don't have an idea, but Ben, speculate for me. Let's
And
make
7.
not what is Plan 7?
Oh man, that is a bit of a wild one. To be honest, absolutely no idea. But to speculate, I don't know. It's obviously a reference to some previous mission where maybe they've got a set list of plans of get out of like certain situations. Um, I reckon it's something quite absurd, or like the way they dismissed it, or just something that was quite a outlandish comment from Wrecker, because they obviously didn't take him up on it. But yeah, it was quite a funny sort of, well, maybe not a throwaway line, but just like one of Wrecker's typical comments. But yeah, no clue, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I wasn't sure, but I saw someone speculate that because the Bad Batch, a lot of it is taken, or a lot of it is based on the Republic Commandos game, which
Mm.
follows these commanders, and one of them is called Seven or
Oh,
Sev.
sevens, yeah.
Sev, and so some people think that this could be a little Easter egg, say to the game, and there's definitely one a bit later which we'll talk about. But yeah, it was
Mm.
yeah, it is. I'm not sure what Plan 7 could be, but it would be. It's interesting to speculate of all the possibilities, and it
Yeah.
could be linked to that game. To escape this, I mean, ridiculous situation. Where one side they've got crosshair sniping at them, and the other they have an engine turning on, which is going to turn
Turn
them
them alive, isn't
into
it?
smithereens, exactly, burn them alive. They quit thinking, blow up the engine, which helps them escape. And Crosshair got burned. He got
Yeah.
burned to a crisp. I mean, you have to think a bit about your positioning. Like, if you're thinking, like, this engine's turning on, I know it's an explosion, you didn't know they get out of it, but you'd position yourself maybe at an angle, because the engine was pointing out, like, right at him, and he just sat
Yeah.
there with a sniper. You think maybe position yourself a bit to the right, but obviously he thought that was the best viewing thing. But I was just thinking, come on, mate, think a bit smart. I mean, I know you cornered them, it's been very smart, but your positioning there, I mean, it's off, isn't it? He's got to position himself better, doesn't he?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, he probably didn't see it coming.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
true.
he probably could have made a move when he saw the engine, like the outer shell falling off or whatever.
Yeah,
But yeah, burnt to a crisp. He looked a lot like the old Dengar guy, didn't he, with his little bandages and
yeah,
the
yeah,
oxygen mask thing. But
yeah,
yeah, that's a interesting point if you want to discuss Crosshair a little bit, because he's obviously that would have severely injured him. Um,
yeah,
Probably, I think he had one of his eyes taped over.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, that would have severely impacted his sniping ability.
yeah,
So it will be really interesting to see where that goes. Because I doubt he'll be able to be of as much use or use at all to the Empire now.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's definitely a potential that it's damaged him. I mean, you see him, like, the eyes, like they were like orange, like
yeah,
they weren't the same color. He was bandaged up. There's a.
yeah,
I was thinking, yes, sniping ability. This could have potentially
mm.
hindered it badly. And another thing is, has this affected the inhibitor chip? Has this
Ooh,
perhaps done something, and maybe
mm.
it's now not fully functional? I think they could be possibly leaning towards that, and maybe they don't remove his inhibitor chip, because
Yeah,
he will probably have an arc which will be back with a Bad Batch. I think that's
yeah,
probably. And so they're either going to have to remove it, or it's going to have to become, or it just doesn't work anymore. And I think that's potentially what they're thinking. Maybe it now starts to malfunction
mm.
because of this blow. But I think, yeah, there's potential that his sniping ability could definitely be hindered by this. And yeah, it's I don't really know what what's going to happen. It's very interesting because we need him to have this arc where he comes back to the Bad Batch. And is this it? Like, I'm not sure if,
Yeah,
because surely they'll take him back to Camino, do tests on him, and
yeah,
if it's not working properly, then they'll probably make it work properly again. So I'm
yeah.
not sure
That's
whether
true.
this is the moment. But yeah, are we keen to see how do you think his inhibitor chip's gonna like be removed or like deactivated? Is this the moment that we see it potentially not working?
Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. That's a good point you made there. It is, with all the technologies and that, you'd expect them to be able to correct a few burns, and they just put like another robotic eye in that or something. But yeah, in terms of the inhibitor chip, I think, yeah, I don't really know. I mean, we don't know too much about how, I guess they're just inside the brain and do something with chemicals to control their like actions, I guess. Um, but yeah, potentially some sort of, I don't know, like radiation or whatever from the engine may have like compromised the ability of the chip to communicate with his body. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see whether it's the turning point or like not as significant as we think, like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation that
Mm,
sometimes just ends up being nothing. But yeah,
yeah,
it's always good to speculate over it. And
yeah,
next we get Hunter and Omega. They're getting back to the ship, and you have the music play. You have the droid. You hear the voice,
oh
see the
yes,
blue of the bottom of his chin, the hat,
yeah.
and Cad Bane, the man from the Clone Wars, has returned. And what a return! I mean, did I expect it? No, not at all. Am I so over the moon it happened? 100%. He
Yeah,
is such a cool bounty hunter, and having him return. I mean, what was your reaction to it, Ben?
I didn't expect it at all. I didn't expect it at all. I was sort of, I was kind of waiting for some sort of. So I thought someone or something may appear. Um, Obviously, we previously spoken about the Cal Kestis
Mm,
potential appearance, and then when they were saying that, oh, I can't remember now, but so I was thinking like, oh, maybe there's someone lurking in the shadows. But yeah, it was just such a brilliant piece of cinematography, maybe if that's a word, but just yeah, the music, the video, like the video shots, and oh man, it was done so well.
mm.
Um, yeah, and obviously an iconic bounty hunter to make a reappearance, um, none other than Cad Bane. Uh,
What a legend! I
oh
mean,
man,
that was awesome, and he had a standoff with Hunter. And I'm not gonna lie, it was never ending well for Hunter. Hunter's awesome. He's well trained. He's really great.
yeah,
But he was never winning the standoff. I
yeah,
mean, maybe they'll have an arc where this repeats itself, and they have another standoff, and this time Hunter kills Cad Bane. But in this instance, I was like, there is no way
no
Hunter's coming out of
chance.
this. He has this standoff, and of course, Cad Bane shoots first, knocking Hunter off balance, who shoots the foot off the droid, which didn't really leave too much damage. And yeah, it's a really bad hit on his chest plate, and it was just what a moment. Like these standoffs, it's like an old western. It's
Oh yeah,
one of those things,
it was
and
brilliant.
I genuinely thought Hunter was dead. I genuinely thought they killed
Yeah,
him.
me too. I read somewhere that it was like some form of armor that um meant that it didn't pierce through
The
or
chest
something.
plate. Yeah.
Yeah, the chest plate, that's it. Yeah, no. In the moment, I was like, no, surely not. But yeah, obviously regained consciousness a bit later. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
It was
very interesting.
it was a bit of a scare. And the next bit of action we get is so he stuns Omega, and then we have blacked out, and we go to the coolest POV ever. We have
Yeah,
the point of view of Hunter, which was so awesome, and you have uh, the Bad Batch with them, like, "Where's Omega?" And then they have Wrecker shooting them, and then get him on the ship. And it was a real like the drama was awesome, and the POV of Hunter is something so many people have wondered. It's like, what
Mm,
can these people see? It's been described. They have lots of like things on their helmets, which like they have thermal. They have lots of different things that helps them, and we just to see it was so awesome. And I think this was I mentioned that potential callback to Republic Commandos for
yes,
and
yeah.
Seven and Sev. I think this was definitely an Easter egg to that. It looked like a cutscene from that, but in like high definition, in like modernized, and
Yeah,
that was awesome. And then the episode just ends on we have to get Omega, and
yeah,
it's like bang, end of episode. There's no normal music to finish it. It's like there's this really downbeat, emotional song playing in the
yeah,
background, and roll credits. What an episode! And wow, what it blew me away. It really did, and it left us with more questions. And a lot of these questions we've been asking for a while, but I think I'll put them to you, especially after this episode.
yeah.
First of all, they want the Kaminoans, they want
Mm,
Omega for
yeah.
Phase 3.
Mm.
First of all, who is Omega? Why do they want her? And like, what's so special about her? People speculating potential force ability. Me and Mike
Yeah.
have several times said that we don't believe this is the case. But Ben, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think is the deal
But,
with Omega?
oh, Sam, I'd really like her to be force sensitive and then have this massive character arc. Ahsoka Tano
Oh,
flying in. Don't know if I pronounced her name right.
oh no,
And just
yeah,
like training her up. Oh, mate, it'll be amazing. It'll be amazing. But yeah, I don't know how realistic that is. Omega, she's arguably the main character of the show.
yeah,
Um, Phrases flying around, such as the superior clone. Um, yeah, honestly, it's all a bit of a mystery at the moment. I think that's partly what Dave Filoni's kind of aiming at. He's leading us to kind of keep stabbing in the dark, have all these ideas flying around, and it's it's giving me it's like Grogu vibes from the
mm,
Mandalorian. It's kind
yeah,
of baby child wanted for their powers and
yeah,
to be used for mysterious reasons or whatever. But yeah, no, it would be really interesting to see where this goes. I think, yeah, she'll probably be like the main um, story point, I guess, as the
mm,
season progresses. But yeah, force sensitive. I'd like it. Don't know. Don't know if it's realistic.
yeah.
She's obviously got some like heightened sense of like almost empathy, but just like awareness and that. But it'll be interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah, it certainly will be. I've drawn lots of comparisons from Bad Batch episodes to The Mandalorian. It's
Mm,
the last two episodes, I think it swayed away from that.
mm,
However, I could 100% see her be like comparisons to Omega and Baby Yoda, Grogu being used for
mm,
its blood. I could potentially see Omega as well being used for blood or something,
mm,
probably as a cloning template. She
yeah.
clearly has something special about her. Again, I really don't know what it is,
Mm,
but she's got a heightened something, and they are thinking, let's use her to be the next phase of clones. These will be so much better than stormtroopers. This will prove to the Empire that
yeah, that's it.
they are better than stormtroopers. But then we know in the end that this doesn't come about because we get the
Mm,
stormtroopers in New Hope. We
yeah.
get them in Rogue One, and all the media in between in Rebels as well. So we know this
Mm,
doesn't come to fruition, but
mm,
it'll be interesting to see how the show ends and what they do from it. Finally, I want to get your thoughts, Ben, on how. So we've got 4 episodes left. what
Is it? I thought it was 16 in the season 1.
think it's 14, and
Okay.
I want you to tell me what's going to happen in the next 4 episodes. What do you think? How will the show
Oh,
finish? What are they going to do? They're obviously going to be looking for Omega, but will that be all of the episodes or?
yeah. All right. So one theory. This is a bit of a wild theory, but so obviously, Cad Bane's got Omega at the moment. I think so. He's obviously been, well, I guess it hasn't been confirmed that he's been hired by the Kaminoans, but I think we can more or less guess that that's the case. So you can assume that he's going to try and take Omega back there. Yeah, I think maybe there's potential that word will get out, and other bounty hunters might come and pinch Omega from Cad Bane, like Fennec Shand and maybe even Boba Fett. We don't know, but yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool to have a little Boba Fett cameo as well. But yeah, that's one possibility, and then so that I don't know how many episodes that would take up, but and then it would just kind of be, as you said, that kind of chase to get Omega back with the Bad Batch and various bounty hunters and whatnot. But yeah, I think if we were to focus around the Bad Batch more, yeah, I think next episode's pretty much going to be them trying to track down Cad Bane. We might see some more of the Kaminoans, and they're kind of maybe if Omega does get there, Omega, we'll see a bit more development in that area. But yeah, no, okay, yeah, that's just one idea with the bounty hunters and the race for Omega. I guess that's generally what I think is going to happen.
Mm. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I'll correct myself. 6 episodes left. I can't do maths. There are 14 episodes. Episode 8. So yeah, 6 episodes left.
Yeah.
We're not getting that close to it finishing. We've still got 6 more weeks of it,
Oh yeah.
which is great. And yeah, I can't wait to see how it resolves itself. It's definitely going to be chasing over after Omega. It'll be interesting, a theory that maybe Cad Bane was hired by someone else, and
Mm.
that the fact they were going to hire more bounty hunters, they didn't hire him, but Cad Bane is delivering someone else. And
Mm.
that, I mean, I'm not sure how likely it is. I think it's quite unlikely, but it's always, I like to speculate. It could
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, yeah,
Most likely, it will be there'll be Cad Bane transported to Camino. I'd
yeah.
love to see a civil war on Camino. I think that'd be so
Yeah,
awesome. That's
that'd be
been
sick.
that's in Legends now, or that's not canon anymore. But that actually happened, and that would be awesome if that could actually happen in a canonized story. So
Mm.
so many possibilities, and I just
Mate.
can't wait. And yeah, I think that concludes our breakdown of episode 8 of the Clone Wars. First of all, Ben, thank you for joining me for this episode. Honestly, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, mate, thank you for having me. I'll try
No,
my best to bring my knowledge.
well, Ben, you did bring it, and yeah, thank you for coming on. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, keep up your support on the videos, and as always, may the force be with you.